Maybe walk us through and just generally speaking, some successful traits of startups that you worked with in the earlier stages when it comes to marketing?
Yeah, for sure. I keep marketing pretty simple. I'm very glad to have started when I did. I started in like 2003, right? So internet's really just getting commercialized. I'm born and raised a child of the internet, going to direct response marketing. I'm there through that whole transition, watching direct response marketing become digital marketing. And so, kind of have being there for that whole journey and having all these ad platforms launch, I'm like the old guy in the room, right? Everyone's like, oh my God, like you can do lookalike audiences. Yeah, I was doing those by hand in 2004, right? It took me like weeks, right? You know what I mean? You could buy those all the time. So like nothing's really new. Digital just sort of like accelerated it all, right? We used to wait 18 months for a B2B client to find out if a test worked, right? 18 months. Because you're like, well, we'll see whether or not they renew their lease on whatever, like in 2 years, right? Like that's weird. But so it's just a lot faster now. It's the same principles. And so, keep it kind of pretty simple. When I talk to startups, I usually open with like a pretty simple question, right? I'll say, look, um, who is this for, and why is it a no-brainer, right? And probably like 9 times out of 10, they don't have a great answer, or they don't have an answer, or not confident in the answer to one of or both of those questions. And that just starts the whole conversation, right? Because at that point, it's much easier. Well, if it's not a no-brainer, or you don't know why it's a no-brainer, I probably don't need you to start on marketing yet, right? Because marketing is spending money in pursuit of efficiently putting your product in front of people who want to buy it, right? It's really simple. Advertising, right, is buying and distributing ads in service of making people aware of your product. The direct response component is a detail, right? You're just trying to put something in front of people in a way where they're like, oh yeah, I need that, or oh yeah, I might try that, right? And you do it enough times so where they actually remember to bother trying it. Oh, I saw it on TV, then I forgot. Saw an ad on my phone, then I forgot. Saw a blog post, then I forgot. Just gotta do it enough times so they remember, or they're actually sitting somewhere. They're not in a meeting. They can actually take an action. It's all very, very, very simple. But a lot of startups, because it's so rare to have marketing, like when I started my last tech company in like 2013, I wrote a blog post, about the lack of marketing co-founders, right? I mean, how often do you hear about a marketing co-founder? It's pretty rare. So when they don't have marketing in their DNA early, often they don't frankly respect marketing. They kind of feel like they don't need it, or they can learn it because Facebook ads seem really easy or something. That leads to them. You'll often see a startup conflate marketing with product, right? They'll look to marketing to answer things that they should have answered with product. Oh, hey, I'm not quite sure who it's from. I'm going to spend $500 on Facebook ads, testing different demos, and see who wants it. That doesn't make sense at all. The math doesn't make sense. The strategy doesn't make sense. It's not going to work. And a lot of startups have come to me off the back of spending a lot of money in some cases, and really having nothing to show for it, because again, they haven't done the root work to say, look, you just need to like talk to like 5 or 6 of your target customers to understand whether or not your thing is a no-brainer for them. Like that's it, right? Now you'll dilute it if you don't know how to. You can still be bad at that, and you can still be good at that, right? You can choose the wrong 6 customers. You can ask the wrong questions. You can phrase it incorrectly. You can dilute that 6 group. But if you really know who it's for, like down to some good details, like on a professional level, which again you can be bad at, and you really know how to position, the product pitch, you just need to ask a few people to know if it's true. And then once you know that, then just go blast that same thing out with a bunch of ads, and you'll be fine. I mean, seriously, right? And then the rest of it is just, sort of math. You're not owed a profitable business. You're not owed a low CAC. You're not owed anything. But most startups are struggling with that initial piece, which is, do I even know who it's for? And do I know why it's a no-brainer for them? Right? Because none of us are building a startup. Well, you can build a bootstrap business and not be a no-brainer, right? You can build like a small lifestyle business and you're just one of a bunch. You don't really care. Like as long as some people use it sometimes, that's totally fine. But if you're trying to be a high growth startup, then you are trying to introduce something which is a no-brainer for a large part of some kind of for a large segment. It is a no-brainer new thing, and they're like, whoa, this didn't exist before, sounds amazing, I'm going to do it. That's what we're all trying to do. So if you don't really have that yet, that's probably what I would work on. Again, and that's not really marketing, that's really product, but that's what a lot of startups kind of like, well, I invented it, so if I can find the right growth hacker, we'll be fine. Like, not true at all, right? So yeah, I would say that. I mean, it's not really like a marketing answer, but that's because most of the time for early stage companies, which I think is on this conversation, the problem I find is that early interaction between product and marketing. They think they're ready from a product standpoint, and all they need is marketing, and that's actually pretty rarely true.
We're getting
they're going to start spending on marketing to answer the product thing, which is also a bad idea.